I wanted to become an aerialist, I guess it would help to understand what it takes to start with. Let's talk airs on today's episode. Welcome to the Wipeout Weekly, the daily podcast for beginners, wannabe surfers, and seasoned wipeout enthusiasts. No hype, no filler, just the highs, lows, and honest truth about learning to surf and finding your place in surf culture. I'm your host, Suze Wilson. Let's go out. Imagine a world in which no airs in surfing exist. It wasn't that long ago, because an aerial only came onto the scene in the 1970s and came into its own in the 1990s, when it became its own branch of surfing with aerial specialists and aerial-only competitions. Now, how did we get here? You may remember that surfing came before skateboarding, but skateboarding airs came first and influenced surfing airs. An aerial, or air, happens when a surfer lunges herself off the wave crest into, well, air, and performs one of the board and body turking maneuvers and lands back on the wave face. Aerials tend to be performed in waves under 6 feet. Matt Warshaw, the surfing historian, considers the aerial revolution a slow one. Surfboards couldn't be gripped and handled in the air as easily as skateboards. And waves, unlike pools, change shape constantly. The chop hop, an early and rightfully maligned aerial variant, was enough to keep most progressive surfers working on deep turns and tube rides, he said. As slow as it might have been, the evolution of aerial surfing was pretty colorful. Early on, the surf media called the aerialists flying squirrels, and some surfers didn't consider it true surfing. But then, in the 1980s, John Holman from the East Coast performed a 360-degree aerial rotation, and then Christian Fletcher and Matt Archbold of San Clemente, California, started lifting 4 or 5 feet above the crest. And everyone lost their shit about aerials. The air vocabulary also grew, and we were rewarded with mute air, indie air, slob air, madonna, and stalefish. It's all to do with hand placement on the board, you see. Then, Kelly Slater made aerials mainstream. And straps toe in surfing pushed the evolution and air height even further. I found this description of what determines an air category in the Encyclopedia of Surfing, and I am bringing it to you verbatim. Aerials are categorized according to 4 factors. Number 1, the rider's position during liftoff, either front side or backside. Number 2, the positioning of the rider's hands as he flies, either hands-free or with one or both hands gripping the edges of the board. Number 3, the flight pattern of the board, usually a simple arc, a 180-degree spin, or a 360-degree spin. Number 4, the board position on landing, either nose forward or reverse, tail first. The surfer's position relative to the board also comes into play. A tweaked air, when the rider is at an angle to his board rather than centered over it, is more difficult. Air is synonymous with aerial, boost, launch, bust, and punt. They all have been used. Okay, what does it take to perform an air? I am definitely not speaking from experience here, but it starts with wave selection. Look for a medium-sized, powerful wave with a strong lip to launch off. Then, you need to build speed by pumping. Stay in the pocket or curl of the wave. As you approach the lip, perform a shallow bottom turn to maintain speed and angle your board to project upward, not straight up. Finally, coil your body like a spring before hitting the lip. Then extend your legs and lift your arms to launch off the wave. A slight push with your front foot at the lip can also help launch the board. Once you are great at it, you can head to the Stab High competition, sponsored by Monster Energy. Actually, you've just missed it. It was last week in Sydney. Alas, Red Bull Airborne hasn't taken place for a few years now. Shame, because I heard it gives you wings. And that's all for today. Check out the Wipe Out Weekly for our free newsletter, more stories and ways to connect with us. Thanks for listening. See you tomorrow for more of the Wipe Out Weekly.